Hey guys, so we just released our latest indicator, the multi-time frame breaker blocks by SMRT Algo. It is released completely for free for everyone, so you guys can start using it straight away without being a VIP member of SMRT Algo. So I'm sure most of you are familiar with what breaker blocks are. Essentially, they're what remains after a supply or demand zone is broken. For example, on my chart here, you can see that we have a previous supply zone here. There was a retrace, and then it was broken after price broke through it, and now it has turned into a demand zone. So this is what we either call a breaker block or a supply turn demand. A bullish breaker block is generated when a previous supply zone is broken, and a bearish breaker block is generated when a previous demand zone is broken. So a bit about the indicator settings. If I go on the inputs here, you can set the alerts here, and you can change the time frame of the MTF breaker blocks. On the top right of the screen, you can see that we have the time frame of the breaker block. So if I change it to, let's say, an hour, it will show 1 hour on the top right. Next up is the sensitivity. You can adjust the sensitivity of the breaker blocks. A smaller value will lead to fewer zones generated on the chart, and a higher value will lead to more zones shown. For the width, it's pretty self-explanatory. A smaller value will result in smaller zones, and a larger value will result in larger zones. You can adjust the colors to how you like. For example, you might want to change it to green or red or purple and blue. It's up to you. And of course, finally, we have the time frame labels. You can turn the label on top right on and off, as well as change the position, as well as the size. And you can also show the previous zones that were mitigated. For example, if a breaker block is mitigated, it usually disappears after a while. But if you want to show those as well, you can turn this on. The breaker block length, this is how long or how far into the right the breaker blocks will extend. For example, right now it's set at 150. So that means that the zones will be extended to the right by 150 candles. Now, how can you use the MTF breaker blocks? Breaker block zones can serve as predefined areas where traders can look to take profits, since these zones represent significant areas or levels of potential support or resistance. You can target these zones and set realistic and strategic exit points that align with the market's natural behavior. Alternatively, you can also look for entry zones using the breaker blocks. For example, we could have waited for price to retrace back into our bullish breaker block here, and we can look to take a trade when there is more confirmation. When you first add it to your chart, it might look something like this. That's because it's showing multiple breaker block zones and it's trying to compress all of these zones to fit on the chart. So what we want to do is you want to go over to the y-axis on the chart here and just expand it and zoom in until you get a zoomed in perspective. That is pretty much all there is for me for this video. You guys have been requesting this indicator for a long time, and so we finally delivered. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.